Hello again, this is Ben Hitchcock Cross. I'm going to talk to you a little bit here about, I think, Bethany Eskro and Courage. I posted a video earlier about how the due process clause is a lot like courage. It's the glue that holds everything else together. Well, I had a comment here on money is more important than courage, and I sort of want to address that because I think it's a really valid point. It's absolutely true that in what I do, which is plaintiff side employment litigation, that one of the best and strongest tactics that the employer has is to exhaust the employee through all sorts of ways. Hoops and doors and all sorts of boxes that you need to check and all of that, but also money and time, effort, and just exhausting you with absolutely stupid and frivolous things that go on forever. I think we saw that in the Lucky case, how just the transcripts, we're waiting a month and a half just to get those, let alone having the time to brief everything. We're out till October here before the judge is even going to think about making a decision. And so all through that time, if Mr. Lucky doesn't have another job or whoever else is, they're losing out. They're losing out each and every day. So those things really add up. And the lawyer's fees absolutely add up. But I want to sort of take that concept here, and I also want to frame that with the Bethany Eskro story, because where that case stood before Chief Haensel decided to hit record on his body camera was that there was a complaint about Chief Haensel that I think Miss Eskro forwarded on to the police department, that was then sent to the mayor and others, and that in itself caused the mayor and others to directly threaten members of the police department, that is where, so they filed a complaint, I guess an ethics complaint based on that threat, and then of course more retaliation came their way. And I shouldn't say came their way. We really try to work against the passive voice in this channel here. I mean to say that the Amory city retaliated against them. Thanks. So with that in mind, what do we have? Well, we have this video that emerges of this big, powerful chief putting a much smaller female into a locked interrogation room and interrogating her. And what we have is Bethany Eskro looking him right in the eye, as many have noted, and telling him that you can't do it. You can't. This is not what the Constitution allows you to do. And I think we all saw the results. Well, that opened up a door because termination, Chief Haensel terminating Bethany Eskro opened the door for Bethany Eskro to have a due process termination hearing. And that's what we saw there. It wasn't a court. It was the city council having the opportunity to get it right. So Chief Haensel says, I'm going to terminate her. She says, I am grieving that. I object. The city council then has to hear the evidence and along the lines that they see fit. Again, you go look at Levasseur hearing, it's a totally different kind of kangaroo court there. So we're in, she has this due process hearing. Well, that's a lot of free evidence, wasn't it? And even though it said we could only cross-examine, and it limited us apparently to whatever people the city sought to bring, we didn't really contest that point too much. We tried to bring in Hickok, but they weren't having that. So, okay, we stuck with what we stuck with. So, but you see how that courage then led to this free evidence, and the free evidence, even this body cam footage, then we put it up on YouTube. And, the raw footage that Miss Eskro put up, that took off, and what happened is people started calling the city, and apparently from all over the world. and the city took notice, and I think that at all different levels, the mayor, the police chief, his Facebook page, the city administrator, the attorney for the city, I'm sure noticed it, and I'm sure the common council noticed how many people were calling and say, "I'll never come to Amory, and if I do, I'm just going to come and protest for the First Amendment." So that's significant, and that all happened because of courage. And so I think that Miss Eskro got her job back in part because so many people called and talked to the common council members. And that again all happened because of courage. I think that the hearing itself, frankly, was a really low cost opportunity for evidence. And now, of course, there is going to be the higher cost need, I guess, to go into federal court and address these First Amendment violations. So that is true that, were we trying to just go to federal court from the beginning, it's going to cost a lot of money. Federal court does. But it's also true that there's so many other ways to say no, because that's what due process allows, and that's what courage allows, and I think that's what Bethany Eskro did. And so I think we can all see the effects of that. So when I say courage is the most important one, I think that's true. It's also true that money is the sinews of war. So I think both of those things can be true. And certainly a rich person has much more ability to fight for justice, whatever that means, than a poor person. That's absolutely the fact. But let's just say that with very low cost, I think in determination and networking and a lifelong of being Bethany Eskro, I think she changed things. So that's the news. On that, if you stick with us, we'll keep you informed. Thank you very much.